Okay, we were literally yeah. So that first recording was 2 hours.
Maybe we should make this part another episode.
We'll together, yeah. So
So that first part is 5 through 7.
yeah.
This one is starting at chapter 8, and this is where things get. This is when people started coming after us in droves.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, for real. We got canceled for this. Yeah. I
Um,
mean, there's another thing we could have got
a
canceled for.
summary before I get to why we wrote it. As trial preparations begin, a new situation arises that brings the teams closer together. So we mentioned this a bit when we were talking about In Forevermore.
Did you guys go read that?
Um, and I will say this, and I've said it before. We would not have written this if we did not see it.
Mm-hmm.
If we did not believe that is what's happening from everything we've been taught on the show
Mm-hmm.
and the research that we've done otherwise. And we're going to read it.
Mm-hmm.
It says, according to the Oxford Dictionary, sexual harassment is defined as behavior characterized by making of unwelcome and inappropriate sexual remarks or physical advances in a workplace or other professional or social situations. Do you think I should read like where I first saw it, or should we do that
Yeah, we should talk
after?
about why when we get there.
Yeah,
We
once
get
we
there.
get to it, I'll tell you. I'll explain where I first saw it and why it's been a thing for me ever since.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So the beginning of the chapter is Olivia goes to Denise's office to do trial prep,
Yep.
and Ayana was there, but she's like, I'll let you guys talk. So
I'm here to support you, but also in case Elliot tries to break his restraining order.
mm-hmm.
Ayana bodyguard.
Yeah,
Um, basically Denise is prepping her. It's the first time Olivia sees the pictures of
yeah,
her
she hasn't seen the
injuries,
pictures of herself.
and she's like, "Oh my god,
Mm-hmm.
this is bad." She didn't realize he could grip her that tightly as she studies the marks imprinted on her skin. Unfortunately, she isn't a stranger to marks on her skin, but the fact of the matter is, this time they were caused by someone that she knew, or at least she thought she knew. It's different seeing them in a photograph, like it reminds you that they're really on your skin. Other people can and will see them, Olivia says as her eyes gloss over with tears. Then she sees the pictures of her wrist, and she's like, I didn't even notice anything until Amanda pointed out my wrist is broken. Um, then she tells Denise about what happens in the interrogation room.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when Ellie grabbed her, and Denise was like, did anyone else see it? And she's like, one of my former detectives who is currently in France with her girlfriend. That is where we're choosing to say Kat is because they mentioned it
Yeah.
in the premiere that they want good France. So they're in France.
Yeah.
And Counselor Creasy.
Yeah.
Creasy's like, yeah, he'll be able to black out what's in the video. Um, he and I know it's not his fault, but it's been a lot. And Olivia tells Denise, please don't mention to him that there are some things that happened. Elliot, I didn't tell him because I wasn't comfortable. It's not his fault. But I had to keep some things between Amanda and I. And Denise is like, I completely understand. It will stay here until you ever decide to share it with him. But does this have anything to do with the morning when you woke up on my couch?
Yeah.
Yeah, because everybody seems to forget after all the letter scene. Elliot woke up in Ayana and Denise's apartment, and she's like, why is he here?
Yeah.
Ayana's like, I gotta take care of him because so his cover doesn't get blown, and Denise is like,
they didn't follow protocol.
just figure this out. I don't want to deal with this. I'm
Because
gonna
they were
have my
supposed to take Elliot
coffee.
to the hospital and stuff. I don't think they didn't do that.
Olivia was like, she showed up to my apartment drugged and tried to explain some bullshit about a letter and even write stuff. Fell on into my arms, grabbed my waist, tried to stroke my face. passed out. I called Ayana, then he woke up at your place. We're gonna go with the fact that Olivia called Ayana because nobody else, who else could have, and how else would he ended up at her place?
Yeah, that makes logical sense. Because the show kind of just does a hard cut there. It's just like, oh,
Denise is like, I'm sorry. I'm gonna make sure I get justice for you. Want you to help you feel safe. Thank you for Olivia's like, thank you for believing me. If you ever trust and come near me, I'm gonna need support. I know we can't really confront him during the trial, but pulling me away, showing him that I can't do this right now will help. Calhoun, Denise is like, Calhoun and Buchanan are gonna find any possible way to discredit you on the stand because unfortunately our case is weak without your testimony. It won't matter what anyone else says if you're discredited. That they want to paint Stabler as the grieving father and cop the NYPD has a vendetta against. Olivia's like, funny how he's not the one with a vendetta this time. Because he always does.
Yeah. That's his favorite thing to do. Be like, let's get vengeance for something I probably shouldn't. And it does not ever go well.
Hold on, checking something else. Everybody's talking about Carisi in the last episode in the group chat. They're like,
I see. I'm like, we're busy right now.
Like, I want to, because everything they're saying is like kind of right, but also like,
we gotta,
I know, but unfortunately, the vendetta he has, if spun the right way, will make the jury sympathetic towards him and not you. I believe we can. Olivia's like, I believe we can do this, but one thing I'm scared of is him.
Yeah, it's very like, and I believe that's still currently true about it, like canon wise.
Yep.
Like she knows how angry he gets.
She isn't saying anything because she doesn't want to upset him because she doesn't want to get him angry.
Yeah, and she knows that. She doesn't want him to be angry at her.
Denise is like, I will give you do everything I can to give you your power back. Denise is like, there's one more thing I want to prepare you for, and unfortunately, this is something Calhoun most likely knows. You have been accused of using brute force before. Because it's true. Because Olivia, the reason why Calhoun had to defend Olivia is because Olivia was accused of using brute force against William Lewis.
Yeah.
And Olivia's like, Rita knows that these two situations are completely different. I was fighting for my life when I had to use brute force. Elliot did it because he could. And what Olivia, my biggest fear, honestly, is that Elliot finds out about Lewis in like the worst way possible.
Yeah.
When it's not his story to know. Yeah. And it should be on her terms. Like, it should have been on her terms to introduce Noah to him whenever she wanted to, but the show didn't give us that either.
Yeah, and Lewis is dead, so what is Elliot actually going to do? It's not like Lewis is alive or anything. He's going to be angry at himself for not being there for her. That's about it.
Yeah, so Denise is like, that right there is your secret weapon. Well, I hope Calhoun has the decency to never bring that up. If she does, you have a reason to explain why you had no other choice. Elliot's will only go against the story his defense is using. He wanted to be violent because you were putting him in his place and he didn't like that. We wrote this wrong. We said Detective Elliot.
Whoops.
Oopsie. We don't have an editor. We write stuff ourselves.
We are the editors. And
we are the writers and editors and researchers.
Yeah, sometimes I do it at like 3 a.m. and you never know what happens.
But Denise is like, please know you're incredibly brave for standing in and preventing Detective Stabler from trying to get to your friends and hurting people. And Denise is like, Olivia's like, he yelled at my friends. He tried to hit Amanda. He was going to arrest Raphael. I couldn't just stand by and let it happen. Denise is like, and that is exactly why you above Elliot Stabler. And Olivia's like, it feels wrong to say thank you for that. Because honestly, I think she would think that way.
Yeah.
Then we get to the big thing that we were mentioning earlier. Should I read the end thing? Or should we just keep going?
we can read it first. We need to talk about why we wrote this.
Okay.
Before we explain.
So, I got so much crap for this because this is when I started seeing tweets about people reading our story.
Yeah. No, people don't tweet us anymore. At least we don't know if they do.
And we don't know. We don't give a crap.
People who leave comments are, for the most part, really sweet.
And I still, to this day, cannot find this damn episode anywhere, and it pisses me off that I can't find the scene. But I said that I can still picture the scene clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Stabler was behind Jet and squeezed her arms, causing her eyes to go wide, and then he pushed off of her before walking away.
Mm-hmm.
I saw something in her eyes that made me realize Jet was shocked, that she felt uncomfortable, almost scared even. I noticed what was happening immediately. Ever since then, I paid close attention to all their interactions. Situations like these have happened multiple times, even in the very first episode of OC. And I said, in case anyone isn't sure of what we've written, here's proof. And we put a whole bunch of gifs of this being happening.
Yeah, we sure did. We got proof.
And there's been more since we wrote this that have happened in the show. So, yeah. Now that you know what's going on, let's go ahead and keep reading.
Okay, so...
Once I get back there... hold on. I think there's one other thing to say. We know Canon has, changed it, and now... Jet's doing things for Elliot, and he's like, let's go on a motorcycle ride, and calling him dude and everything. But also, whenever she has whenever she's alone with him, she keeps her distance. I've made sure to look at that. Even in the house the other day, he's here, and then a few feet over, she's standing there, hands in her pockets, talking to him. She tries to keep her distance. When she can't keep her distance because she's at her desk, is a different story. Because she can't. And yes, Canon has differed from stuff like this, but I stand by what we see. I stand by that it keeps happening, and I stand by that, she might respect him in certain ways, but I don't think it's in everything that he's done.
I agree.
Alright, let me see if I can go back to it. I scrolled down so much.
Okay. What do you want me to read until you get there?
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, you can just read the first part.
Meanwhile, over at the Organized Crime Bureau, Jill was holding down the fort. She's jamming out to some music while working on the latest case. She swivels her chair around to look at her monitor and knows she's in her element. Suddenly, she hears an all too familiar voice call out from behind her. And Elliot says, "Man, you emptied my desk already. Whatever happened to respecting your fellow officers?"
Jet immediately stops the music and quickly spins around in her chair. "You need to go."
And he says, "Last time I checked, I still work here."
"You are breaking your restraining order. Get out."
Then says, "I think you and I both know that doesn't apply here. Olivia doesn't work here." Hello?
Hold on. Sorry, another message happened. I was like, yes.
I'm working here. We are working. Okay, so she says, "Oh,
okay, I'm back.
Yeah.
You have a criminal lawsuit. You shouldn't be here. You not only put yourself in jeopardy, but us as well." Elliot's ignoring her. She's like, "Where's my desk plate?" I love that. I forget which one of us wrote this, but Jet's thoughts in the trash.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think it was me.
Your picture. She's like, "Your pictures are being sent back to your apartment." And she's trying to do her work, hoping he'll go away. Until Elliot says, "Are you trying to work on the Modern Road case?" Elliot said, walking over to Jet and leaning close, putting his hand on her shoulder, trying to look. Jet immediately closes what she was working on. They feel something in her shift, a feeling she knows all too well. Stabler moved back. Ellie doesn't listen to her.
Mm-hmm. And he says, I was only trying to help you.
Don't you think you helped enough? You've hurt more people in the crossfire than you realized.
Then Jet,
Tries to hold back a flinch as Elliot continues to ignore her and goes to grab her mouse. As Jet feels the shadow of his hand touch hers, she snaps. She pushes her chair back, nearly knocking Stabler over, and starts to breathe heavily. Pause. Because, yes, I can't find the GIF. But he has used her mouse before, or at least, tried to, touch her hand and, grab the mouse. He's like, what the hell? And she's like, what do you mean, what the hell? You're always in my personal space. And then he says, how was I supposed to know? You never said anything. Then Jet says, you worked at SVU for 12 years, Stabler. You should know better than to sexually harass me.
And he's like,
I have done no such thing. How dare you?
And
Jet says, no, how dare you? I know that's what this is. You are completely ignoring the fact that you're hovering over me and squeezing my arms and shoulders. It's crossing the line professionally and personally. Jet feels her voice crack as she says the last word and she hates it. She never wanted to appear weak in front of everyone, especially not him. She feels disgusted. Think you wrote this one. This line.
we did like have to look this up, but it was true. We were like, is that true?
Yeah.
And then he says, remember Jet.
Wait, the first one.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, I lost this. Oh, sorry. He says, what are you gonna do? Report me? See how far that gets you.
Jet's like, what the hell? And yeah, we did look. Remember, Jet, you wouldn't even be organized crime if I didn't tell Liana to bring you here. You would be nothing without me. That's where you're wrong, Stabler. I've made a name for myself. Captain Benson even requested me to help SVU with the case because I knew exactly how things ran at a hype house. I am a damn good detective and you know it.
And then he says, Ayana turned her back on me and now you.
No, you turned your back on us when you took your grief and made it personal vendetta, and has only caused people pain, including me. Jet, you are being ridiculous. I've done nothing to you. Yes, you have. You think I'm only here for your benefit. You're fucking using me as something you can lean on. You don't even care. The closer you get,
And he's like, what? Jet, spit it out.
the more I'm afraid of you. She says in a whisper. She can't believe she actually said it. And now it's like, why are you afraid of me then? Say it. She's like, for God's sake, Stabler, you broke a woman's wrist because she wouldn't let you do what you wanted. That has nothing to do with the fact that you think I'm sexually harassing you. It does, because you think you can walk all over me because I'm young and a woman. You don't stop until you have your way. Which is true, because he's having a Jet all do all the stuff that you probably shouldn't be doing. It's like,
and still is currently.
You're young. You'll actually do it. Everyone else will probably say no to me. I know you probably won't. So here, hi. It's like slightly taking advantage of her in a way.
Yeah.
I mean,
he
also
does. Well,
the
he kinda
fact that
does
he's
later
doing
on.
it.
He ask her to look up the stuff about his dad and stuff.
Yeah, and the fact that he knows the fact that she'll do it, she won't say no, but it's also stuff that she will enjoy doing. It's still possible to get in trouble because they've shown that he mentioned something in front of Ayana, asking Jet if she did anything. Jet said nothing and just walked away, and Ayana was like, "What was that?"
Oh yeah, you're right. That did
happen. It does. Yeah. And so then Jet tries to. Elliot starts to walk over her desk again. Jet tries to leave. Elliot touches her shoulder, causing her to freeze. The fact that he's just leaving it there is just sending a chill down her spine. Elliot says, if this was a problem, you would have done something sooner. He still hasn't moved his hand. And she musters up all the strength she has before pushing her shoulder back and heading to Yana's office and closing the door. She sinks to the floor, pulls out her phone, calls the one person who could fix this.
I'm still here.
I gotta take a break. I'm losing my breath. You want to keep reading?
Okay. Because it's like, okay, she's okay. Okay, so she calls Ayana and she's like, Sergeant Bell, I need your help right now. And then Ayana's like, is everything all right, Jet? I mean, Jet thinks no, not at all, because this situation's bad. And then Jet says Stabler's here at the precinct, and he won't leave you. And then Jet stops. She can't say it right now. She's Jet. Where are you right now? Your office. And I was like, okay, stay right there. I'm on my way. Then Ayana comes and she's like, Detective said, but what are you doing here? And he's like, I work here. Remember? He's like, you know exactly what I mean. Why the hell is my detective calling me in a panic? And then he says she's being ridiculous, Ayana. Now she's hiding in your office. And Ayana's really mad about this because like Elliot's not taking this seriously. And Ayana goes into her office and sees Jet's crying, and she hardly ever like cries, especially she's really so emotional
Pre Malachi.
pre Malachi, yeah. She really didn't show any emotion. I should say what it was, but yeah. Yeah, and Ayana tries to comfort her, and they talk about what happened. She tells her what happened.
And she's like, he's sexually harassing me, and Ayana's like, what do you mean? What did he do to you?
Yeah, and she says it's not the first time. She describes what happened as like, it's not the first time either.
And he's like, she's like, what? And he's like, he's done it multiple times, usually when no one else is around or when he needs information from me. Which is true, because all the times that I put in the examples, or like we've seen it, like he needs information from her, or like Ayana is not there.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Ayana be like, you can't. You
shouldn't actually. There's been a recent example of like him doing it, and Ayana's looking right at them, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah, this is how we get in trouble, by doing things we should.
He didn't think it was a problem because I didn't say anything, because I didn't, because I was worried no one would leave me. I know most people think I'm stoic or just see a blank stare on my face, but that's because I didn't know how to comprehend what to do. I know I'm young, so I want to show what I'm capable of, and I have. And yet Stabler thinks he can just do this to me. And I was like, I'm suspending him. You deserve to feel safe with this work. You are incredibly valuable to this team. We were like, we need to get him to leave. I want to report him.
Yeah.
They will go back outside, and Yana's like, Stabler. He's like, what? She's like, don't want me. You need to get out right now. Jet standing there. Her eyes are red. She has her arms wrapped protectively around herself. He's like, oh, come on. Are you seriously playing victim here? And Yana's like, she shouldn't have to be playing victim. You should know what sexual harassment is and not to do it. You're not even supposed to be here in the first place. If you've forgotten what, you have an IEB investigation, criminal lawsuit against you. And she's like, which we all know is absolutely ridiculous. It's whatever Jet is claiming I did. I am a good. Jet cuts him off. He says, a good man wouldn't do what you did to me or what you did to Captain Benson. Yeah. Everyone's like, he's like, what? Starts blaming everybody else for himself. And Jonathan's like, for once, freaking take responsibility. We're not blaming you. All police officers want to hold each other accountable, including you. And he's like, they want to explain why Jet seems to want me to be held accountable most of all. I mean, she's like, because you will never understand how it feels to be hurtable like this. To have the constant feeling of your skin crawling, you have made me feel like I don't even matter. You want to know why I tend not to show so many emotions? It's because you took away my ability to be able to express them without any judgment. And we've seen this a lot more. And it makes me sad, but also like good that she can show her emotions. And we wrote this before, and it also makes me happy that what we've been in isn't totally far off.
Yeah.
For the confident, badass woman that she is, Jet has her moments of insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're like, we're gonna need to call Denise. He's like, really? And I was like, you committed another crime. I have no other choice. So they're basically telling.
Yeah, because basically RORs are invalid if you commit another crime.
Because if you do another crime, you lose your ROR.
Yeah.
And Ayana's like, Stabler violated his ROR by committing sexual harassment to one of my detectives. And Denise is like, there's only one person that could be. Denise talks to Jet. Stabler's, and the honestly, Stabler, you need to call your lawyers. And she's like, I'm done arguing with you. Just call them. And of course, I love the little summary we have. She's like, of course, Rita Calhoun is furious at the news. Elliot Stabler has committed another crime in the past 24 hours. She and John Buchanan make their way over to the precinct as they try to wrap their heads around what happened, and that would make the case that much harder. She walked into the place and she's like, Detective Stabler, really? Now sexual harassment allegations? And the fact that I could hear Rita saying that.
For real.
I don't know, at least in her voice. Buchanan's like, it's a bit of a reach, don't you think, Sergeant? And Yana's like, no, not at all. And then Jet walks out of the office, and all eyes immediately fall on her. And Rita turns to Elliot. It's like, Stabler, please don't tell me it's her. Like, hoping that it hasn't come to this. Buchanan doesn't give a crap. He's like, really? You expect us to believe her? I mean, come on, this girl's practically emotionless. Calhoun turns to Buchanan and she says, it doesn't matter if it's true or not. Stabler's reputation will be ruined by this accusation once a jury hears it. That gets Jet angry. She's like, is that all that matters? His reputation. What about me? And then we get more misogynistic Buchanan. He says, honey, he's been a police officer for more than 20 years. Whatever you thought he did doesn't need to ruin all of that. And Jet's like, I told you not to call me that. I'm a police officer too. It shouldn't matter how long he's been working. He can say what he did isn't true, but he was an SVU detective. He knows what sexual harassment is. Ayana's like, I believe my detective. She would never accuse Stabler. This didn't happen. She wouldn't make up for this personal gain. Make this up for personal gain. Yada yada yada. She deserves some damn respect.
Yep. I sent you the song. We'll do it later.
Don't. I think you wrote this. Did you write this one? The first Olivia line? Or did I?
Oh, I think it was me. I'm pretty sure I wrote that.
You can rate it.
Oh, it says, he says, first Olivia, not you, Jet. What's next? Being accused of being a racist and homophobic.
And Ayana immediately feels something in her snap. He knows exactly who he's talking to. Stabler's gone too far. Because, let's see. You're talking to your black queer sergeant.
Yeah.
I'm going to need you to stop talking right now. You crossed too many lines, and you crossed too many lines. You don't remember where they start.
Yeah, I borrowed this line from Chicago PD. When you cross too many lines, you don't remember where they start.
Yay. And Callan's like, is that a threat, Sergeant? And she's like, no, something he needed to hear.
Oh, yeah, so basically the warrant comes in.
Warrant comes. Ayana arrests him again.
Yeah, again.
Marita's like, it's right here. We don't have any other choice. So she's like, we'll fight for appeal. And Rita's like, if we do that, it only cause more problems. If you plead this out, a jury will see you're taking responsibility for your actions and sparing the detective and yourself another investigation trial. And I told you, and I was like, I want a line that shows, like, she's thinking for client, but also wants to, like, spare Jet things because we've known she's worked with victims before.
Yeah.
And so we have that. And Elliot's like, I'm not going to admit I did this. I didn't sexually harass her. And Ayana's like, all right, I'm done. Hands behind your back.
And Rita doesn't want to argue this one, so Elliot.
Nope. And he's like, I'm sorry, okay, I'm sorry. And Jet is like shocked to hear him apologizing. Until he looks at her and is like, I thought you were better than this. I guess not. And she's like, she should have known better than to think he would apologize so easily. And Ayana nearly pushes him out of
yeah. So they call SVU.
Jack is like, I need you to call SVU. I need your advice, their advice. We transition back to the precinct. Amanda's like, guys, I just got a call from Denise that Elliot got arrested again. Finn is about ready to freaking spar. He's like, he grabs his coat and he's about to leave, and he's like, what the hell did he do to Olivia this time? Until Amanda says it wasn't Olivia, it was Jet. And Crazy's like, what? Because, A, Crazy cares. He's got a heart. Also, he's met Jet before, so he knows her. So he went with that. Like, we don't know what happened. Jet wanted to tell us in person when she was ready. They call Olivia. They're like, something happened to Jet. Elliot's being transferred to Rikers for violating his ROR. He's the reason Yana and Denise wanted us to come by. Everybody goes to the bureau. And Jet is immediately like, Captain Benson, I'm sorry. And she's like, you don't have to apologize. When you're ready, we'll talk. And so Jet tells Amanda and Olivia what happened, what she's been through. She's like, thank you for believing me. I forget who said this. I was like, we're here for you, Jet. We believe survivors and we'll support you in what you decide to do moving forward. She's like, I want to report him. I don't like feeling vulnerable and insecure, but he made me feel so comfortable. Olivia then tells Jet what happened in her apartment. But at first she's like, I'm sorry if I had said something sooner. And she's like, this is not on you. He is the one who did this to us. He made us feel uncomfortable in our own skin. He is the one to blame. She tells Jet everything that happened. And the worst part of everything was that her son saw it all. My son and I shouldn't have to be afraid in our home. I honestly haven't slept in fear he showed up again. At least I can't do that anymore. Jet then tells them everything that's happened, not just today, but the other times it happened. It broke their hearts. Each event broke Olivia and Amanda's hearts more, but also increased their want for justice more for all of them. And meanwhile, Sunny and Finn are talking to Rihanna. And they're like, is Jet okay? She's like, no. Stabler sexually harassed her. And Finn is like, that explains why she was wary of us when we walked in. And Sunny says Olivia and Amanda are the right people to help her. But I saw her heart and her confidence when she came to help us with Willow's case. And I want to help her somehow. Again, remind me there's still good men in the world, men that truly care. Sonny's like, thank you, but I feel like I could have done more for everyone involved. First Olivia, now Jet. It's not right. Yana is like telling them what they can do for her. And she's like, I hate to be saying this because Jet is young, but she's going to need all the support she can get. She looks at Carisi in the eye, and her eyes are laced with pain. She says she needs to be reminded that all of her male colleagues are going to want to do this to her. More talking, Ayana's like, how can one man cause so much pain? Her eyes flicker over to Jet and Olivia. Those are two of the those two are some of the strongest women I know. He's crushed them. And I can't help to feel responsible for letting any of this slide by. And more talking. In this summary, this part is important, I think. Jet stops in her tracks when she sees the two men starting to walk over. She knows they worked SBU, but so did Sailor once upon a time, and he still did this to her. The normally stoic young woman felt insecure and scared, and she hated it. She feels tense till she sees that neither man has moved from their spot next to her sergeant. She's like, Sunny's like, we want to treat you with the honor and respect you deserve. And Jet's like, I don't know where to start. I'm not used to my male colleagues asking what I'm okay with. They think because I'm stoical, they don't care. Just kind of true. She never had like a male colleague that like really got her fully until Malachi started working with the bureau.
Yeah. Mm.
And she's like, I just want to know you won't do what he did to me. I saw something in you during Willa's case, so I know you care for survivors and women who have been hurt, but my insecurity is killing me. And Sonia's like, is there anything specific I can do to show I won't harass you? And Jet is like, please don't touch or come close to me without asking permission. And please be patient if you're asking me to do something. I know that you have shown me that you respect me, but please know I don't like pet names. So he's like, well, remember this, but did Saber use pet names with you? And she's like, no. Buchanan
The
did.
mic fell. We're good. The mic fell. We're good.
He keep talking. My aunt is leaving. I gotta go say bye to her.
Okay.
If you want to keep reading, I'll be back.
I got the mic down again. She says, Buchanan did, and he kept calling me honey because I'm assuming I'm a young woman who doesn't have any idea what she's talking about. Yes, sarcastically. And then she takes a deep breath and she says, he thinks he's being charming, but it makes me feel sick inside. And Amanda says, I swear that guy becomes more of an asshole by the second. Which is true, Buchanan's kind of crusty. Then, yeah, Buchanan's never respected survivors, and that's quite true. He always likes to blame. He's a very victim blames a lot. He's a defense, blah blah. They want to help Jet with this as well. Yeah, they talk about like everyone hates Buchanan, blah blah. And then Olivia says, we want you to know, Jet, that we're here for you, and not just for the surface level. We're incredibly valuable to the team. Olivia has done something now that's involved all of us, and as we fight for you too. And then Jet feels a newfound sense of confidence, respect, and yes, her happiness was over. An amazing group of people that believed in her and want to help her get back her power. She looks at Ayana and gives her a small but sincere smile. And she turns to Olivia. Thank you all. And Captain, I gave you my word. I'm going to fight for all of us until the very end. Olivia's blah blah. Olivia talks about she's grateful to have friends like this. And then y'all, like the team is like they have a new sense of strength and determination. Yeah. So then they check on Raphael again. He's doing a little bit better, but he's still on the ventilator. And Olivia brings him the cards the kids made. She talks about how hard the past few days are, and that like she pressed charges. She's, I know you're listening because you always have to. You have to me. I missed your wisdom even when I didn't want to hear it. I believe in the goodness of your heart, which means I believe you're going to push through and get better. I now know who you were protecting me from. And she says, I guess, she takes a deep breath. And Lily's like, I guess what I'm trying to say is that you were right about everything. I didn't see how much of a manipulative gaslighter Elliot was until he hurt me. I knew, you knew, she's, you knew he's capable of, so you spared me that at the trial. Taking him to trial will be very hard. Honestly, I'm terrified. And then her voice cracks, she cries, and she says, God, I missed your voice and you telling me everything's going to be okay. I pray that I'll be able to hear it again soon. I promise if I do, this time it won't be like the last. You mean the world to me, Raphael, and I'm so sorry I ever made you feel like I took you for granted. And to be honest, I did, and it's the worst thing I've ever done. I love you. You are more than just a lure to me. You're my world. You're my breath. You are a flawed but incredible angel among men. And then she cries some more. She said, and the last line is, today has been a lot, and to know that Elliot had hurt someone else was breaking Olivia apart. The support of the one man who couldn't be there for her because he'd risked her life to protect her. As the machines beeped around her, she reminded herself Raphael was fighting, so she was as well. She had to. And that is the end of chapter. What chapter is this? I don't remember. Chapter 8. Chapter 8. And chapter 9 we wrote on Christmas. We published it on Christmas Day. because we literally don't know how to stop writing like ever. I write something. I'm literally writing something all the time because I just love writing and it's something I do in my free time to keep my brain busy. So, chapter 9. I'll cut this out when I edit later. But there should be a pause thing on Anchor, but there isn't. Hmm.